Alright, so I said I was going to do some discussion videos, and I think while I wait for another one to render, now would be a great time to record one. So, uh, one thing I want to talk about is sports games. And wait, before you close out the video, let me talking shit about it a little bit, so it's okay. So, my question is, why can't sports games adopt the same business strategy as Ubisoft has with Rainbow Six Siege? Because here's my issue with sports games, is every year we get a new one for every franchise, and two for the NBA because the rights aren't exclusive to EA. Just one of every sport, two for soccer, Pro Evolution, and FIFA. So we're getting a lot of sports games every year. And all of these sports games have some variation or another on the Ultimate Team mode. For those of you who don't play sports games, this mode is basically just like trading cards digitalized, where you buy trading cards and then you actually get to use them in a game. And that makes it to where your team's better because you're like, oh, I got this trading card of some legendary player, blah blah blah. So now I'm super awesome. Well, this quickly becomes a pay-to-win situation, which that's an argument for another day. But what frustrates me more about this, and I guess this isn't even that bad for people who don't pay to win, but because a new game comes out every year, you have this Ultimate Team that you work real hard on because either you've invested an ungodly amount of time into your Ultimate Team or just in the game in general, or you've invested an unhealthy amount of money into it. Either way, there's been some investments. And now, say with Madden. Madden is what I've played the most and what I know the most about, so I'm going to use it as a reference point. Madden comes out in August every year. So now any money that you spent, any hard work you've done, all that expires come August of the next year. Every time. It's just all gone. Nothing you did matters anymore. Nothing carries over. Sometimes they will give you like a badge or two, like saying, oh yeah, look at that, you bought the last one. Good job. But that still doesn't compare to the amount of money, time, and effort that you would have invested into that team. And it's just all gone. Some games do have some way to thank you for playing a little bit better. I think 2K does a decent job of like saying, oh, you played, you got to this rank, well now here's some bonus in-game cards. But my issue with that is, why not just adopt the strategy that Rainbow Six Siege uses, which is, for those of you who don't know, a game that is an example of what is now known as games as a service, where they come out, I want to say it was 2015, 2016 when Rainbow Six Siege came out, I'm not sure exactly, but the game's been around a while, and the game is more popular now than it ever was whenever it released, due to constant improvements, updates, and just more game. And so why couldn't a sports game, which many of us argue every year nothing changes, oh now the passing game's a little bit different, now you have this mode, oh they added a story mode, guys, they added a story mode that takes you a whole 2 hours to complete. So that's a thing. So you have all of this, but for the most part nothing changes year by year, and part of that is due to the strict schedules that companies have to adhere to just to meet those deadlines. We all know EA is very strict on their developers about hitting release schedules, and they're not very nice about it, and especially with companies like EA Tiburon, who are the guys who make Madden. Now, of course, they're used to this. EA Tiburon has been making Madden games since probably the early 2000s, maybe even earlier. I don't know. I'm not that much of a Madden buff. But so they've been making Madden for years. So they're used to the yearly pump it out quick, make some improvements, update that roster. But the problem is every day they update that roster anyways. Anytime there's some roster changes, if you get on Madden right now, I guarantee you there's a roster update. Whether you played earlier today or not, there's probably a roster update. So they've already shown that they can update a game like this. Hell, a perfect example is Madden Mobile. It's a crappy mobile title that follows a lot of the same microtransaction heavy stuff that most mobile games do, but it's all packaged up in Madden on the go, which is a cool thing for some people if you're into mobile games. But here's the kicker, is it used to go year by year. They would release Madden Mobile 2013, 2014. Now it is just called Madden Mobile, showing that they are actually adopting that strategy for the mobile game, which I imagine still rakes in tons of money in microtransactions. So when it comes down to it, why not do this for your games? Maybe charge for the story packs. FIFA and Madden have both been adopting story modes. I know 2K has its own stories. Charge the players for the story packs, but keep things like Ultimate Team. Carry them over. Quit making me pay $60 a year for your game whenever you're not changing much. That's my 2 cents on it. Of course, this won't happen because why adopt a strategy where they can still keep getting money from the microtransaction, all the stuff that they already do, and just pay that $60 as well. Get us to pay the $6 and then buy the microtransactions. Why give up that $60? My theory on that, though, is, hell, I try not to purchase microtransactions. Anytime I can, vote with your wallets, people. I always want to say that. Vote with your wallets. If you don't like something, don't buy it. That's the way to show people that we don't support their actions. It's money talks. But when it comes down to it, I think people would be more willing to purchase said microtransactions if they knew, hey, my team is still going to be good next year. Now, sure, maybe this player is exclusive to this season. Look at Fortnite. Fortnite uses seasons brilliantly. It's making tons of money off of it. And people love it. It's the biggest game in the world right now. So why not adopt a strategy like that forces you to not spend the $60 every year, but instead encourages you to drop that money on microtransactions rather than $60 for the game every year? Because it's very frustrating for me as a casual sports gamer, somebody who enjoys playing a sports game very seldomly, but I do enjoy playing them, that I would have to spend $60 just to play the new one, because we all know you can't play the old one. It's old now. It's old news. The roster stops being updated the minute that new one comes out. So it becomes an issue of, do I really want to spend $60 whenever over the course of the entire year I may put 5 hours into the game? Obviously it's not worth it for me. But now I'm denied the experience of Madden or other sports games just because I don't feel like committing to them in the same way that I would commit to something like Rainbow Six Siege, like Fallout, like Fortnite. So it's just one of those things. It's very frustrating. I don't like the system. I want to see it change. And so I think this is a path that these developers could take. And this isn't just on EA. This is on 2K as well. I have not ever played Pro Evolution Soccer, so I don't know how Konami is doing that, but considering it's Konami, I can't imagine they're very nice. I would imagine that predatory microtransactions are in there. Keep in mind, there was a whole snafu about the fact that you had to pay extra for extra save files in Metal Gear Survive, which already was a bastardization. That's a hard word to say. Of a beloved franchise. So, in closing, Sports games should adopt a games as a service model. Charge me the microtransactions all you want. I'm not going to pay for them. Charge them all you want. You're already going to anyways. At least let me stay up to date. But that's how my discussion videos are going to work. Still feeling them out, having fun with them. Tell me what you think, how you feel about it, and stay awesome, folks. I'll see you next time.